In this video, I'm going to go over the major electronic components of the Mira photo booth and how you can troubleshoot any kind of incidents. So let's go over the major components first of all. In the middle top center, you're going to see your digital camera right here. This is connected to a beige colored ring, which will allow you to rotate the camera to horizontal position or back to vertical. It is just held in friction with this knob over here. In front of this is a black piece of spandex cloth. It's really important that that covers up the lens, because if it doesn't cover up that area, you're going to get reflections and kind of like ghosting marks in your photographs. If you want to tilt the whole thing up and down, you're going to grab the gray part and tilt it back or push it forward. Do not grab the camera and push it forward or backwards, because they'll just make the camera come loose. To the left and to the right of the camera, you see two silver cylinders. These are the flashes which light up your photographs. In order for them to work properly, you have to have the top reflector card or bounce card tilted at about a 45-degree angle. You'll know they'll be working right because your photos will turn out bright and saturated with colors. If you have it all the way down, your photos will be too dark. If you have it all the way up, they might be a little bit too dark as well. These flashes have the controls at the very bottom. I've taken one of these units out of the case just to show you the controls on the back. The top blue knob at the... let me just set this down here. The top blue knob is the power. All the way to the left counterclockwise is the smallest power. All the way to the right is the biggest power. You want it all the way to the right. This big red button right here is the on-off power. You want that on. The photo cell and the buzz you want off. The buzz just makes a beep after each flash is taken. The photo cell is this red thing up here. It will flash if it senses a lightning bolt or flash from another camera. So definitely you don't want that on, because other camera flashes could trigger it. The mode is for if you want a modeling light, which this flash doesn't have installed, so just keep that in the 0 or middle off position. The red is a test button. This outlet right here is for the power, and this cord right here is a sync cord. It fits a headphone jack type cord into it. So if you look at this setup over here, the sync cord is this thing right here, which is this metal hot shoe that goes into the top of the camera. This cord is a Y splitter. One goes over here to this headphone jack, and the other one goes on the other one over there. So that kind of takes up the photographic aspects of electronics. The rest of it is more computer orientated. Down over here to your right is going to be a computer. It might not be this exact model, but it'll be a computer which has typically the on button in the lower corner here, and you have to turn that on. You also have to turn on the camera, which is up here, the on button. It will glow green when you first turn it on, and then when it's connected to the computer with a USB cable, it will turn orange. The USB cable goes on top of the camera here. There's a little door flap that the USB cable plugs into right over there, and then it goes into a USB on the back of the computer. Make sure all your cords are secure if you can't get the camera to connect. Next, behind the computer is your television. The on button for the television is typically somewhere in the back. We use different models of TVs. This one happens to be right up here on the very top corner. And right in front of the TV is going to be your power distribution. This has power cables to pretty much every electronics in there. They aren't labeled. If you need to find out what something goes to, you pretty much just hold the cable and follow it down. So like this one right here is going to the printer, which goes down here. And here's your cord for your printer right here. Okay, this cord right here, if you follow it, it goes from the HDMI output on the computer to the HDMI input on the TV. And you can pretty much just figure stuff out very easily by tracing the wires. Everything has its own power supply, so if you're not getting power to something, make sure you check and make sure it's powered on. So for instance, if you're not getting power to the camera, make sure this red and black cord which powers it, come over here, make sure this power cord at the end is pushed in tight. And you pretty much can do that same troubleshooting step for any component inside this booth. When you look at your computer over here, you're going to notice you have your power cord here. You're going to have a USB. This is for your TV. Under here is going to be your connection for Wi-Fi. And the other important thing for the touchscreen is the touchscreen cable is in front of this mirror here in the upper left-hand corner. And it kind of comes down over here. This is it right here, and it plugs into the computer here. So if you can't get the touch working, make sure it's plugged in. The other thing you need to be aware of is you never want to touch the mirror surface on the inside. The only way it's exposed is if you take off the spandex. You never want to clean that with anything, okay? Not even a soft cloth. You just don't want to touch it because it's very fragile, and if you touch it with a paper towel, I've scratched it before. So make sure you do not touch that. This kind of goes over the major components in the Mira booth. If you start off by plugging in the main power